Welcome to a club for people who love good movies. Use the links in the description to navigate the list of films quickly.
American Psycho. In New York City in 1987, a handsome young urban professional, Patrick Bateman, lives a second life as a gruesome serial killer by night. The cast is filled by the detective, the fiancé, the mistress, the co-worker, and the secretary. This is a biting, wry comedy, examining the elements that make a man a monster.
Secret Widow. While in the process of annulling divorce from his wife, writer Mort Rainley relocated to his remote cabin in upstate New York for solitude. Attempting to recover his mental health, Rainley had the misfortune of being found by John Shooter, a farmer who claims Rainey plagiarized his work. At first, Rainey ignored the accusations, but Shooter has no intention of quietly disappearing. Soon Shooter becomes increasingly vicious on his quest for retribution.
Mulholland Drive. A dark-haired woman is left amnesiac after a car crash. She wanders the streets of Los Angeles in a daze before taking refuge in an apartment. There she is discovered by Betty, a wholesome Midwestern blonde who has come to the City of Angels, seeking fame as an actress. Together, the two attempt to solve the mystery of Rita's true identity. The story is set in dreamlike Los Angeles, spoiled neither by traffic jams nor smog. Stay. Sam Foster, a physicist, has a new patient, Henry Latham, who claims to be suicidal. In trying to diagnose him, Sam visits Henry's prior therapist and also finds Henry's mother. Even though Henry has said that he murdered both of his parents. As reality starts to contradict fact, Sam spirals into an unstable mental state. Then he finds a clue as to how and when Henry may try to kill himself, and races to try to stop him. The number 23. A man's discovery of an obscure book about the number 23 leads him on a descent into darkness. As he becomes more obsessed with its contents, he becomes more convinced that it is, in fact, based on his life. To his horror, he discovers grave consequences in store for the book's main character.
Enemy. Dream House. Publisher Will Eddington quits a lucrative job in New York to relocate his wife, Libby, and their daughters to Quaint Town in New England. As they settle into their home, however, the attention discovered that the woman and her children were murdered there, and the surviving husband is the town's prime suspect. With help from a neighbor who is close to the murdered family, Will pieces together a horrifying chain of events.
Take shelter. Plagued by a series of apocalyptic visions, a young husband and father questions whether to shelter his family from a coming storm or from himself.
Shutter Island. The implausible escape of a brilliant murderess brings you as Marshal Teddy Daniels, Leonardo DiCaprio, and his new partner Mark Ruffalo to Cliff Hospital, a fortress-like insane asylum located on a remote, windswept island. The woman appears to have vanished from a locked room, and there are hints of terrible deeds committed within the hospital walls. As the investigation deepens, Teddy realizes he will have to confront his own dark fears if he hopes to make it off the island alive.
The jacket. Amnesiac Gulf War veteran Jack Starks can't explain why he's been found at the scene of a murder. Ordered to a mental hospital, Jack is subjected to Dr. Thomas Beckel's unusual treatment plan, which involves mysterious injections, sensory deprivation, and confinement in straitjacket. Locked away on his own, Jack discovers he can travel to the future, where he is compelled to help a one-time acquaintance and investigate his own odd fate.
The game. Nicholas Van Orton, Michael Douglas, is a successful banker who keeps mostly to himself. When his estranged brother Conrad Simpen returns on his birthday with an odd gift, participation in a personalized real-life game, Nicholas reluctantly accepts. Initially harmless, the game grows increasingly personal, and Orson begins to fear for his life as he eludes agents from the mysterious game's organizers. With no one left to trust and his money gone, Orton must find answers for himself.
Identity. When a vicious storm breaks out in the Nevada desert, 10 people seek refuge in an isolated motel. At the same time, a serial killer under the care of psychiatrist Dr. Malik, who has just found the killer's revealing journal, awaits execution for murdering a group of motel guests. When the storm's threatened travelers realize they are being killed off one by one, limo driver Ed Dakota bids to stay alive and reveal the murderer's identity. Fight Club. A depressed man, Edward Norton, suffering from insomnia, meets a strange soul salesman named Tyler Duran, Brad Pitt, and soon finds himself living in his squalid house after his perfect apartment is destroyed. The two bored men form an underground club with strict rules and fight other men who are fed up with their mundane lives. Their perfect partnership phrase when Marla, Helena Bonham Carter, a fellow support group crasher, attacks Tyler's attention.
Nightcrawler.
Taxi driver. Suffering from insomnia, disturbed loner Travis Bickle takes a job as a New York City cabbie, haunting the streets nightly, growing increasingly detached from reality as he dreams of cleaning up the fleecy city. When Travis meets pretty campaign worker Betsy, he becomes obsessed with the idea of saving the world, first plotting to assassinate a presidential candidate, then directing his attentions toward rescuing 12-year-old prostitute Iris.
Prisoners. Kelly Dover, Hugh Jackman, faces a parent's worst nightmare when his 6-year-old daughter Anna and her friend go missing. The only lead is an old motorhome that had been parked on their street. The head of the investigation, Detective Flocky J. Gyllenhaal, arrests the driver, Paul Dano, but a lack of evidence forces Loki to release his only suspect. Dover, knowing that his daughter's life is at stake, decides that he has no choice but to take matters into his own hands.
Mr. Robot, a contemporary and culturally resonant drama about a young programmer, Elliot, who suffers from a debilitating antisocial disorder and decided that he can only connect to people by hacking them. Pat